Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're doing a review of the December 27th, 2019 SmackDown episode. This show came from Detroit, Michigan, and all in all, I've got to say, another just lackluster, boring, terrible SmackDown show tonight. If people say this is a good show, then God spare them. Throughout this show, nothing on this show was captivating in the slightest. Like, from the opening, where they teased that they were going to open the show with the triple threat match, which I was like, oh damn, that's sick, and then they just didn't bother, and it's just disappointing as usual with WWE. So regardless, let's get into the review. We open the show with Elias. He's in the ring singing a song, which was alright, I guess. He's talking about his regrets in 2019, which include Bayley's haircut and Shane McMahon. But at least, he says, but at least SmackDown doesn't have a Lana and Lashley wedding. That was his only really good line. Elias and tells us what we'll see later in the night. Whatever. Elias, I mean, it was an alright open, but whatever. So from here, we apparently go into the triple threat match where the winner faces the Fiend for the Universal Championship of the Royal Rumble between Daniel Bryan, The Miz, and Corbin. So I'm thinking to myself, damn, SmackDown's starting off with a hot open. They're having the triple threat match open the show. Like, I was actually invested in this. Honestly, I was like, wow, they're actually doing something different. So Bryan comes out, he gets on turnbuckles, does his yes chant, that was great. Corbin comes out on his, what did Michael Cole calls it something. He's, I don't know, Cole calls it something, his sedan. Yeah, his sedan. Corbin comes out in his sedan. So the coroners, they lower him, and then Corbin literally falls off. This is after Corbin's cut like a cringe promo where he talks about how Bryan and Miz are terrible fathers, and how Corbin should be the Universal Champion because he beat Reigns twice. So that happens. Corbin literally falls off, he jumps off the sedan, and then Reigns is behind him. Reigns beats him up, and Corbin runs away through the crowd. So that's how open. So we go to commercial with Reigns like all amped up, and we come back, I'm thinking to myself, so what now? So we see Corbin literally shouting at some guy, like in the trainer's room, and then the New Day come out. I'm thinking to myself, okay, where's Daniel Bryan? Bryan's just not there. So this match isn't even happening now. It's happening later on the night, or so we thought. And literally, I was disappointed. Like right away, this could have been a sick opening of the show. The triple threat match, like a hot opening of the show, but no. The company would never do that, would they? Like, honestly, just give something else to go. Have a different match open. Anyway, we're going to a six-man tag match. The New Day, so Kofi and Big E, teaming with Braun Strowman, take on Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. This is Zayn's first match in like 5 months. Granted, when I was watching this, I'm thinking to myself, Zayn hasn't won a match all year. Literally, I don't think he's won once. Regardless, all commentary we're talking about was how Zayn's the great liberator and how Strowman is like dominant. That's literally all commentary is talking about. As for the in-ring action, Kofi was at ringside. Cesaro then like flew at Kofi and did a big European uppercut. Cesaro and Kofi both went flying over the announce table, and we went to commercial. From there, Nakamura applied a rest hold after the break on Kofi. Zayn and Cesaro knocked Big E and Strowman off the apron. And from here, we just got a chaos exchange. Strowman got the big hot tag. The crowd was pretty into it. Strowman took out all the heels. And then there was an exchange of Nakamura and Cesaro and Strowman. Eventually, there's a pinfall where Strowman does the power slam on Nakamura after Kofi hits Shinsuke in the head with a pancake platter. So basically, Strowman pins the Intercontinental Champion, and that's that. Or so we thought. Afterwards, I can't believe I have to say this, but this happened on SmackDown tonight. If you didn't watch it, just don't even bother. This literally happened. So Kofi Kingston egged on Braun Strowman to use his hips. From here, Big E told Strowman to get this dance. The crowd was chanting for get these hips. I'm just watching this thinking, why do I do this to myself? This is just inhumane levels of garbage. So we get Strowman dancing. Braun Strowman, the 6'8" monster, dancing for literally 25 to 30 seconds. It's some of the absolute worst television I've ever seen. Braun Strowman is breakdancing in the ring. And I hate this show with a burning passion. So yeah, Strowman and the New Day win. Strowman does some dancing. So after yet another commercial, we get to recap the opening segment, and apparently Corbin refuses to compete, so the main event's Bryan versus Miz, whatever. From here, we have Sonya Deville. She's signing programs. Mandy Rose comes over. They talk a little bit. Then Otis comes over with a fruitcake. Whatever. I don't care. From here, we go into a match between Mandy Rose and Carmella. If you think I'm giving this match an in-depth review, then there's something wrong with you. It's Mandy Rose against Carmella. Absolutely no one cares. Literally, this match was just whatever. It didn't get much time. Don't really care. In the end, Carmelo wins with a kick. Moving on. So we're told that after the break, we're going to see Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, with the winner facing The Fiend at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, sure. And from here, we get a segment where Sheamus does another one of these videos, like where he's in the dark and he's saying in this one, oh, I'm going to knock the door down and whatnot. And then literally he comes into the light and starts talking about how he's going to return and shake up SmackDown. Whatever, really. In my opinion, Sheamus, the only thing he's really good at is the Celtic Warrior Workouts YouTube channel, which if you haven't seen that, check it out. Some great content, definitely worth a watch. But anyway, so Sheamus is coming back soon. He'll probably make his return at the Royal Rumble. That's my prediction. But honestly, when you think about it, what's Sheamus going to bring to SmackDown? He's just going to get lost in the shuffle in the mid-card. Hopefully, as I said in the WrestleMania 36 video, if they have Sheamus and Cesaro reform the Bar, that would be sick. Get them the Bar as heels against the New Day and actually have some fun tag matches in this division, because otherwise you have nothing. But anyway, so Sheamus is coming back soon. We all know that. We've seen like 6 weeks of video packages. From here, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Bryan was in the ring already, so God knows what happened with him. They didn't make him do his entrance twice, thank God. Miz comes out, he makes his entrance. Then we get underway with the big number 1 contender for the Universal Championship match, Bryan versus The Miz. This literally goes like 4 minutes, and then the Coroners run in, beat up The Miz and Bryan. Technically they hit The Miz first, and The Miz should be facing The Fiend at the Rumble, but nevertheless, they call this a double disqualification. So both guys are like, what now? Because Bryan and Miz cleared out the Coroners. From here we go to the gorilla position with Corbin. He's cutting a promo saying that it's an unsafe work environment because of Reigns. Then Bryan and Miz raid Gorilla and beat up Corbin, and then we go to another commercial. So at this point in the show, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so they've teased the match twice and haven't done it. At this point, I didn't want to see the match, because if you're going to have the match, do it to open the show as a triple threat, okay? None of this BS where it's like, oh, it's happening, no, it's not, it's happening, no, it's not. So at this point, we're an hour and 8 minutes into the show, and I just didn't care anymore, because the minimal amount of interest I had to see this predictable match was absolutely all gone because of this crap booking. It's just disappointing how they do this. So now, literally, I don't care. So we roll on with the show. After the commercial break, we get a moment of bliss with Lacey Evans. This segment, believe it or not, I didn't hate it. I thought it was decent. Granted, is it something you need to go out and watch? Hell no. But on the whole, as a segment, it wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't great or anything, but the segment, it made Lacey come off in a really good light. Her promo about, being a protective mother and whatnot, it worked. And this whole storyline with Sasha getting in Lacey's daughter's face last week, I thought that was really good. This stuff here is decent. So basically, you had Lacey say that she's had enough of the talk, she wants to get in the ring and fight right now. Then Dana Brooke goes to make her entrance. Bayley and Sasha literally beat her up on the aisleway, and there's this big brawl before a commercial. So yeah, go to break. We come back from the commercial. We got the tag team match of Dana Brooke and Lacey Evans against Bayley and Sasha. That match, whatever really. Nothing really happened until you got to the ending. So the ending saw Lacey Evans, who just had a big flurry of offense with aerial moves and whatnot. Like, her offense is actually pretty good, but anyway. So Lacey Evans hit the woman's right on Bayley, and then Sasha threw Lacey Evans into the ring post, and then Sasha locked in the bank statement on Dana Brooke, and Dana tapped out. So the heels go over there, the Boston Hug Connection get the win, whatever, moving on. We go backstage, Dolph Ziggler's with Mandy Rose, and apparently Ziggler's is trying to hit on Mandy Rose, and then Ziggler takes the pudding cake, whatever, puts it on the ground, stomps on it, and then Corbin comes over and pulls Ziggler away, and Ziggler's all upset. So that's whatever. And then we go to commercial, being promised the triple threat match will actually happen after the break in our main event. So this is the third time they tell us this match is going to happen tonight. As I've said, at this point, I just don't care anymore. They've, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me again. Fool me 3 times, I don't care. I just don't care. That's not how the expression goes, but I just don't care. These 3 guys just have, literally just have Bryan announce as the winner and the guy who'll face Wyatt at the Rumble. I don't need to see them call off the match 3 times. Or twice and do it the 3rd time. I don't care, okay? This show's so frustrating to watch. So after the commercial break, we got Ali talking about how 2019 wasn't his year, stuff went wrong for him, but he's going to step into the light, stand up for himself, and do better in 2020. I would say I hope so, but this company is terrible at booking that he's not going to be doing anything better in 2020. So moving on, we have Otis. He's backstage and he sees the destroyed cake and he gets all upset. Whatever. We finally move on to the triple threat main event, where the winner faces The Fiend at the Royal Rumble for the Universal Championship. This is the third time we're supposed to get this match. Finally, we do. The match was good. It wasn't a bad match. We've seen far worse main events for SmackDown and Raw and all that. Like the match itself, Corbin controlled a bunch of it in the early going, just beating down both guys. Bryan, Miz, they got some moves in. We went to a mid-match commercial. After the mid-match commercial, the action picked up a little bit more. It was fun to watch. I'd say as a rating, this would be around 3 stars. Nothing just incredible to go out of your way and see, but it wasn't absolutely terrible. So for that reason, I'm giving it a kind of a positive review. So the match rolled on. After the commercial break, we saw Miz lock Corbin in a figure 4, and then that got flipped over, and then Bryan locked a LeBell Lock in on Corbin, so that was a cool little spot. They went back and forth. Corbin hit an end of days on Miz, and then Bryan was about to take down Corbin, but Ziggler super kicked Bryan, and then Corbin was about to get the win, and then Roman Reigns comes back in, pulls Baron Corbin out, and then we go to commercial again. So at this point, with 10 minutes left to go in the show, I'm thinking to myself, like, how could they possibly end this show in a way that makes any sense, any logical sense heading into the Royal Rumble? So what they did after the commercial break, they had like 5 minutes of The Miz and Daniel Bryan going back and forth. Some pretty good in-ring action between the two men here. Personally, I enjoyed it myself. I thought what they did is pretty much what you expect from Miz and Bryan. They had some great matches in the past, like Night of Champions 2010, SummerSlam 2018. So that was really good. You had the Miz hit a skull-crushing finale on Bryan for a near fall. The Miz then locked in a figure 4 on Bryan, or so we thought. Bryan would end up locking in pretty much like a LeBell Lock, but he was like really wrenching away in the neck of the Miz. So we got that, and from there, Bryan would get the submission victory. So Daniel Bryan takes on Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, at the Royal Rumble. Good to hear. So that happened, and then afterwards, and Bryan celebrating, the Firefly Funhouse came on, and Bray Wyatt, he asked about, Daniel Bryan and will he let him in. So they had the Fiend flash up on the screen, and we went off the air with Daniel Bryan doing the yes chant. So all the people got to go off SmackDown with a yes chant and be happy at the end of the show. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, on the whole, this episode of SmackDown, overall grade, I'm gonna give it a D. Honestly, I feel like this show, on the whole, it's just not worth watching. Like, throughout the show, the whole storyline was the fact that this predictable triple threat match between The Miz, Daniel Bryan, and King Corbin was being postponed because King Corbin was pissed off at Roman Reigns and his coroners, and therefore the whole thing was just postponed twice and then happened in the main event. The match itself was good, the ending was predictable, so I'm not going to really give it too much credit. I think everything happened with that tonight. I didn't love the stuff with Lacey Evans and Sasha Banks. Like, Lacey's promo was really good, but outside of that, the tag match wasn't very good, so I'm going to give that a pass. That's just not great. What else did we get on this show? We got stuff with Otis and Mandy Rose again, whatever, I don't really care. And then, literally outside of that, that was it. Braun Strowman, the New Day against, Cesaro, Zayn, and Nakamura. Don't really care. And just remember, guys, December 27th, 2019 episode of SmackDown, Braun Strowman, moved his hips. He had a dance. He broke a move. Okay? This show is just terrible. Vince McMahon needs to go. I can't do this much longer, guys. Just, these shows are insufferable. Honestly, I swear to God.